All right, we're here to talk about weight loss option A and weight loss option B. Now, weight loss option A is probably going to sound super familiar. It is I am picking a way of eating, usually prescribed by an institution, a book, a person, and I am going to adhere to this. I'm going to clear out all the foods that are not permissible on this diet. I am going to follow it to a T. I'm going to do all the things. And I am going to be super restrictive because I want to lose weight as quickly as possible. And then historically, what tends to happen to me when I do that is within probably 2 to 4 weeks, I get burned out. I start to think, well, I've been so good. My friend invited me out to dinner. Of course, I'm going to eat all the food, right? Because I've been so good. And I completely go off the rafters. And then after I go off the rafters, I stay off the rafters because the plan I was on was super restrictive and it was hard to follow. And I had to say no to so many things so often. And it was this constant battle. So plan A is I'm following somebody else's prescription. I am planning to adhere to it blindly. I expect to have quick weight loss because really that's the only way that this situation is sustainable. It's kind of the gazelle-like focus Dave Ramsey talks about where you are putting it, you're doing as much as humanly possible, working 2 or 3 jobs at once, which is totally unsustainable because you see the end in sight, okay? Option B, weight loss B. I self-evaluate. I pay attention to what has and has not worked for me in the past. I decide that I'm going to do gradual habit change. I decide that I'm going to keep my favorite foods in, but maybe learn how to eat them in smaller portions or less frequently. I enjoy treats on the regular. When my friend invites me out to eat, I can eat till I'm content. I can order something I really want, but then the next day I'm right back to what I was doing. I track consistently. I weigh consistently because I don't have these crazy fluctuations of restrict and overeat. I tend to feel fairly content. It is a little bit noticeable because maybe I have a grumbly tummy sometimes, and I might have to pass on that extra glass of wine, the extra dessert, because I can only have like say 1 or maybe 2 treats, or I can only have so many per week and still see progress. So yes, there is a sacrifice, but it's not an all or nothing and it's not miserable. So I can stay engaged in this process for a very long time because it's something that fits better into my lifestyle. But the trade-out is I'm not going to see the crazy weight loss numbers that I would see on plan A. But if we're talking about the tortoise and the hare, I may be the tortoise and I am going to finish the race. The reason I'm painting these 2 pictures for you is because if you're like me, I spent about 10 years doing A. I would do very restrictive things, food lists, food plans, food timing, fasting, you name it, I did it, right? And then I started to realize that was not serving me, because what was happening is for every week or 2 weeks I could actually adhere to it and lose 5 or 10 pounds, I was going off the rafters in the other direction when I finally hit a tipping point of exhaustion with it, and I was gaining all that weight back plus more. Not just that weight, but more. When I finally settled into let this take as long as it takes, making changes and staying consistent, I got to my goals. It maybe took me a grand total of 5 years because I had 3 pregnancies in the mix. It might have been less had I not had that. But I am so grateful I invested the 5 years in plan B, which was me learning to take a walk, me adding in a serving of vegetables, me adding in a serving of fruit, me learning how to cook new things at home, meal planning, grocery shopping with intention versus just buying whatever the heck I wanted. starting to actually write down my food and be aware of how many calories or points I was taking in, depending on what approach I was taking. Allowing treats every single day. Because I made it comfortable or doable on a routine basis, not easy, not restriction-free, but doable. Over the course of 5 years, I lost 170 pounds. And I learned a way of living that has allowed me to keep the weight off. But when I did A, yes, I saw drastic changes right away. But then I also saw drastic changes the other direction when I went off Plan A. And the reason I share this is because what I have to usually help my coaching clients do is retrain their mind to appreciate Plan B, settle into Plan B, and not be afraid of it taking a little longer. So you get to actually have a donut or two on Plan B, a couple glasses of wine, you get to have some dessert, you get to go out to eat with your friends and not feel like it's the Last Supper. You get to actually enjoy life, but the trade-out is you get less maybe weight overall week to week, month to month. But your adherence and ability to stay in the game goes up drastically, right? So whenever you are lured into Plan A, which will definitely be happening come January, because it always does, what I want you to really do is take the time now, write out what Plan A looks like for you, which you've gotten sucked into in the past, write out what Plan B looks like based on what I shared with you here, and remind yourself come January, I want to do this different. I actually want to enjoy this process, because going back to some of the other videos I shared, what do we talk about? This is a process system, not a product system. What does that mean? It means that just like you don't opt out of brushing your teeth and go, hey, I brushed them, 3,487 times and now I'm done. You're like, no, I'm going to still brush my teeth like every day because I want to have minty fresh breath. And so what do? You brush your teeth every day. To manage your weight, you're going to have to be conscientious of what you put in your mouth. You're going to need to move your body. These things will have to happen on a process-based system. So you're never going to opt out of doing the work, quite frankly. That's what people were looking for with option A, right? We're looking at a way to opt out of doing the work. But the reality is, by doing process B, you're setting your future self up for success, because he or she now has a skill set to maintain the weight they've lost. So I hope all this helps you today. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm here to help you. If you have any questions or have any topics you want me to cover, please list them below. I'm excited to see how Plan A and Plan B play out for you. Keep me posted, and I will talk to you soon.